Imagine the scene. The Star, Frisco, Texas. Cameras pointed at the entrance of the complex. Dallas Cowboys fans holding their breath. Everyone wanting to know the same thing. Is he going to show up or not? And then, on Monday, George Pickens walked through the door. He did his physical. On Tuesday, he was on the field for the mandatory minicamp. The relief was immediate. But the questions, those didn't go away with him. Because this moment isn't just about a wide receiver showing up for practice. This moment carries the weight of everything that happened last year. It carries the ghost of Micah Parsons. It carries the name of David Mulugheta, the agent at the center of all this. It carries the painful memory of a trade that ended with one of the best pass rushers of his generation being sent to the Green Bay Packers. And now, the same script is repeating itself. Same agent, same franchise, same tension. The difference is that this time the player seems to want to write a different ending. But does he have complete control over it? Will the agent allow it? Stick with me, because this story has layers that most people haven't realized yet. And there's a specific detail in this whole situation that could completely change what will happen to the Cowboys in 2026. George Pickens arrived in Dallas in May 2025 from the Pittsburgh Steelers for just a third-round pick. At the time, many people questioned the deal. His difficult temperament and history of fines didn't seem to fit him into an already high-pressure environment. But what happened on the field was unlike anything that was expected. 93 receptions, 1,429 yards, third best in the entire NFL, 9 touchdowns, first career Pro Bowl. With CeeDee Lamb on the other side and Dak Prescott completing 404 passes, a career high, the Dallas offense became a nightmare for any defense. Pickens not only fit in, he raised the bar for everyone around him. And now, at 25 years old, the time has come to receive the contract that this performance deserves. The problem is that the Cowboys applied the franchise tag worth $27.3 million fully guaranteed for 2026, informed the agent that they will not negotiate an extension now, and are waiting to see how this will develop. But Pickens missed the volunteer OTAs. He only showed up when it was mandatory. And the agent's name, David Mulugheta, started circulating in all the news again. The same guy who represented Micah Parsons. Do you think that's a coincidence? Let me explain why the name David Mulugheta changes everything in this story. Last summer, Micah Parsons wanted his contract. He was the best defender on the Dallas Cowboys, probably one of the 3 best pass rushers in American football. Mulugheta went to the table. The negotiation became tough, and when the impasse reached a point of no return, the unthinkable happened. The Cowboys traded Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. Think carefully about what this means. Jerry Jones, the man who had Parsons' personal number on his cell phone, who received him in his office, who treated him like a son, fired him. Not to the Browns, not to the Jaguars, to the Packers, to a historic rival that has already eliminated Dallas in 66, 67, 2014, 2016, 2023. And now, Mulugheta is sitting on the other side of the table again, with another customer at the Cowboys, with the same posture. The question that no one is directly answering is, was Pickens really controlling the decisions, or was he being led by his agent? Because there's a huge difference between a player who doesn't want to be in Dallas and a player who wants to stay, but whose agent is playing a pressure game that could get out of control. This difference could cost the Cowboys the entire season. Now pay attention, because almost no one is discussing this detail. When Brian Schottenheimer took over as head coach, he brought a very specific cultural change to Dallas. And there's a theory that will circulate more in the coming months. Schottenheimer was one of the main reasons for Parsons' departure. Not because he was against Parsons as a player, but because he had a clear vision of the type of personality and dynamic he wanted in his locker room. And apparently, Parsons didn't fit that vision. There are reports that there were people within the complex who simply didn't want Micah Parsons there, and that Jerry Jones, unlike in previous years when he allegedly yielded to financial pressure, listened to the coaching staff this time. If this is true, it means the 2026 Cowboys operate in a completely different way than anything we've seen before. It means that pure talent is no longer a guarantee of longevity. Culture matters just as much as statistics, and Pickens seems to have understood that, because when he arrived at the minicamp and spoke to the press, the tone was completely different from what everyone expected. No drama, no public complaints, no provocation. He said that the group of players in Dallas almost never lets you be left out, that you go to the guys' houses, that you know everyone, that you want to win the Super Bowl. That doesn't sound like a guy who wants to go out. And here we arrive, at the moment that changes everything in this story. Pickens has publicly stated that he will not hold out. Not from training camp in July, nor from any regular season game. Period. But there's more. He said he spoke with Jerry Jones, that the relationship is good, that the fit with Dak Prescott, with CeeDee Lamb, with the Schottenheimer system, is something he wouldn't find anywhere else. In my view, there's something very specific happening here that goes beyond money. George Pickens, unlike what happened with Parsons, seems to have taken control of the situation. He's making it clear to his agent, the franchise, and the media that he's the one who makes the decisions about his career. And that's exactly what the Cowboys needed to hear, because the Cowboys made it clear through Stephen Jones that they are not going to negotiate an extension now. The conversation with Mulugheta lasted 5 to 10 minutes. It was cordial, and it ended. Dallas will evaluate for another year, and in 2027, they will decide whether to use the tag again for around $32.7 million, or whether to sign the long-term contract. The message has been delivered. And Pickens responded in the right way. Now let's talk about what all of this means for the 2026 season and beyond. With Pickens playing with motivation under the $27.3 million guaranteed franchise, the Cowboys' offense is potentially the most dangerous in the NFC. Dak Prescott with 4,552 yards and leading the NFL in completions in 2025. CeeDee Lamb as one of the best wide receivers in the league. And Pickens with 1,429 yards in his first season playing alongside Lamb. Which defense can cover both at the same time? Which cornerback gets to choose who to cover? And there's another factor that few people are considering. Pickens is 25 years old. He's in the best phase of his career. A year with a chip on his shoulder, playing to prove his worth and secure the biggest contract of his life. Players in that position usually have historic seasons. The parallel with Parsons ends here. Parsons wanted to leave. Pickens wants to stay and will prove it on the field. If the Cowboys win the Super Bowl in 2026, Pickens will have a long-term, elite contract guaranteed. If they have another frustrating season, the conversation changes completely. But the feeling today, looking at the roster, the system, and the mentality of this team, is that Dallas is closer than ever to ending more than 2 decades without appearing in the NFC Championship. So that's it, fans. The George Pickens contract saga has ended its first chapter with the result most of us wanted. He's in Dallas, he's going to play, he wants the Super Bowl. But the second chapter begins at the training camp in July, and it will unfold game by game throughout the season. Will Pickens have another historic season and force the Cowboys to pay him what he's worth? Will it be another situation that escalates and explodes unexpectedly, like what happened with Parsons? Or, this time, will the franchise learn from the past and do the right thing before it's too late? Leave your opinion in the comments. Would you sign the long-term contract now, or wait another season? Tell me what you think the Cowboys should do. If you enjoyed this content, please share it with that friend who also suffers along with Dallas. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates this season. Turn on notifications because the Cowboys news never stops. This 2026 season could be unlike anything we've experienced in recent years. And I don't want you to miss a single second of it.